Move back. Sir, move back.
Prime Minister, why are Canadians funding research done by the Chinese military? Trudeau, answer. I'm on the front steps of Parliament right now. This is the House of Commons right here to my left, and Justin Trudeau is going to be showing up very shortly for the last meeting of the House of Commons. It's a committee meeting regarding the pandemic, and we're expecting Dr. Tam to show up along with Justin Trudeau and a few MPs. And I have this petition here of over 50,000 Canadians calling on Justin Trudeau to fire Dr. Tam. And we're just going to see what we're able to do. We're not sure how this is going to work because Parliament isn't really operating and functioning as usual. So we'll see who we can talk to. Stay tuned.
You want to stay back from the arrival, though? Okay.
We'll be with the other reporters.
They all have accredited hill passes to be up.
This is public space, so
Yeah.
I've never had a problem before.
Just, I ask you not impede.
Certainly not.
All right.
Buddy, step back. Buddy, step back. Move back, sir. Buddy, step back. Sir.
Yeah, you can't be there, dude.
Move back. Move back. Move back. Sir, move back.
Prime Minister, why are Canadians funding research done by the Chinese military? Trudeau, answer. I noticed you changed your mask from the black one. Justin Trudeau, of course, is not answering any questions right now. He's more preoccupied with shutting down government. I did notice that he changed his mask from the blackface mask that he was using before to a nice gray color, very on fleek. Of course, I want to know the answer to the question that I asked. Canadian taxpayers are currently funding research that is being done in China to find, supposedly, a vaccine to the coronavirus. Now, the Chinese military is working in consort with a Chinese company, much like Huawei. Every company in China is really operated by the Communist Party of China. There's no separation in their communist pseudo-capitalist system. It's all authoritarian, all autocratic, and our taxpayers are funding research that the military of China is overseeing. You can't make this stuff up. It's stranger than fiction is what it is. I see James Bazan over there. I'm going to go run up to him and ask him the same question. He's a CPC MP. I'm here with Rebel News doing a story on the fact that the Justin Trudeau government is using taxpayers' dollars to fund vaccine research that is being organized by the Chinese military. Do you think that's an acceptable use of taxpayer dollars?
If it's true, it's completely unacceptable, but I'm not aware of that story.
It's been reported in the Globe and Mail. I believe it was the Globe and Mail, and it's certainly happening.
And I'm late for QP, but I'd just say this. I'm opposed to any funding from Canada going into the Chinese military, period, for anything.
We're just asking a quick question. We just asked Trudeau the same one, and I figure you'll probably have a different answer. The Canadian taxpayers are currently funding research done in China oversaw by the Chinese military for a coronavirus vaccine. It was the Globe and Mail, I think, that reported it first. Have you heard about this, and what do you think about it?
Honestly, I haven't heard it. If that's the case, that's really concerning. But honestly, I don't know. I haven't seen that. Do you mind if I check it out first and then get back to you?
Thanks.
I'm here
Appreciate
all day,
it.
so, yeah.
Now, I wasn't super thrilled with any answer that we got today. James Bazan was probably the best when he said he wasn't happy with any taxpayer dollars going to the Chinese military. I think that's a reasonable answer that any Canadian would agree with. Now, why wouldn't Justin Trudeau answer this very basic question? Why was this an oversight? Was this intentional? Does Justin Trudeau really think that Canadians want to be funding the People's Republic of China's military? Can you believe that this is happening in the first place, much less the ministers and Prime Minister won't answer questions about it? The Conservative Party MPs that we spoke to today, they weren't aware of this story, which is concerning on its own. We want them to be aware of what's going on so that they can fight back against Justin Trudeau and his government, spending Canadian taxpayers' dollars in ways that it should never be spent. But I did appreciate James Bazan's answer there, saying that he wasn't happy with any money going there in the first place. I wish we had more time here on the Hill. I wish we could ask Justin Trudeau more questions, but you know as well as I, he's not going to let that happen. That 4-second clip that you saw of me asking him questions, there was police officers everywhere making sure I didn't get anywhere close, making sure that Justin Trudeau was able to get into the building as fast as possible. And there was even the parliamentary security right before Trudeau appeared asking to see my badge and telling me not to get close to the action. Like those reporters somehow have more authority to come here. No, this is a public place. This is the people's House of Commons. It belongs to you and I am going to continue to report on it, even if Justin Trudeau doesn't want me to. You can go to letusreport.ca to help us with our coverage and see more of it if you're interested. For Rebel News in Ottawa, outside of the House of Commons, I'm Cian Bexty. We've been trying for a long time to be able to report on what is going on here in Ottawa during this global pandemic. If you want to support the work that we're doing, go to letusreport.ca.